I do not matter. We are all just matter. Jim Carrey has been speaking a lot lately about how we do not matter. I think it is an amazing understanding that we should diminish the ego. I recently spoke about Jim Carrey's red carpet blow up as Hollywood saw it, but totally could see where Jim was going with his comments. A couple months ago, I came up with, I think, the most amazing affirmation ever, and it really puts you into a humble perspective. I'm not really, into so much of affirmations, but I think this one is truly so fantastic. And you can see what I spoke about on Jim Carrey's, last speech on the red carpet, or blow up as they call it, in my last video on him. And the affirmation is, I do not matter. And why do I love this affirmation so much? As Jim Carrey speaks about in his latest speech just recently, he mentions how we are supposed to say, we are important, we are going to be all right, whatever we dream about is going to come true. And what he's getting at is so very important for all of us, not just the Hollywood elites that are on the pedestal, but for them it's super needed and important because they're building these identities that are destructing their life, and these egos that are making it harder and harder for you to come back to reality. And this is why I love to say the affirmation, I do not matter. It almost just puts you right into such a different mode immediately. It's amazing. It might be even hard for some people to say it. It's not a negative thing at all. It's such a positive. And it's because we are often always thinking of ourselves. We put so much importance on this identity of us in the world. When I started to let my ego down and open up with so many people, I often have to be very aware of how I speak to people. Stop myself before I speak about myself. To not get worked up about wanting to say my opinion, my thoughts, talk about my day and my dreams. Just stop and listen, ask questions, and be open to others. And even that, others do not matter. We all do not matter. We are all just here living. And as I've learned to become a better communicator in creating relationships, I have found it is all giving importance to the other person, because everybody loves talking about themselves and thinking about themselves, and this is such a huge problem for all of us in our society. And I'm so aware and analyzing always that I can always see like how people's actions are, their mind is just on like their thoughts. They're not, a lot of people are not like conscious of like what they're doing or saying, and how it's like it's about their benefit always. A few days ago I had to reaffirm myself to say this again and again, because I felt like my ego was getting worked up. I felt a little tense and wanting to say my opinions a little more often than usual. So I sat down quietly and said, I do not matter, I do not matter, many times. And then also something added to it. I do not matter because we are all just matter. We are all just energy. We are nothing really. So to put a high importance on ourselves is just detrimental to our spiritual being. As I mentioned in previous videos, as I was taught, we are also insignificant in this world. If the top 100 most influential people died tomorrow, the richest people on the planet died, the world would go on perfectly beautiful. We are all so insignificant. This puts such a great perspective on ourselves, and if we do not, we create false thought patterns that prevent us from finding ourselves, connecting to our highest force, which is the greatest place for us to be. We do not need an importance of ourselves, our families, and our material property, of course. We truly are all one, all divine, and connected through energy, as Jim says. Disconnecting from all of it gives us freedom that we could only wish for. What we are truly all searching for is that true essence of peace, love, and freedom. In this world, we often all are trying to develop certain identities, and this is steering us away from our only one, which is nothing. We are all just one, connected with all here on earth and beyond. Our ego is being inflated and destroying us without us even realizing it is happening. Everyone is pushing us to be something that could hurt you in the future, and we ourselves are propping us up to society pressures and pressures of success or all these different things. Jim says something so powerful also. The happy place is realizing that you are everything and that there is no real you involved in the first place. Everything we build up in us is just ideas, nothing else. We're creating all this substance of stuff we think about and all this things in the world, which is nothing. It's just all of our mind creating these and creating such an importance of it. And I really learned a ton on ego and negative emotions. Most egos, from what I learned, are just negative emotions. They dictate your life without you even knowing. Your pride, envy, jealous, and so on is what prevents you from being yourself and chasing your true dreams. When you give yourself such importance, it really holds you back from opening up to a blossoming world. I do not matter. I started to say this to myself when, I'm with people and talk too much, as I said. And what an amazing change that unfolds. This really makes you listen more, value people more on their opinions and experiences. It starts to take the pride out of your life, the narcissism, and old patterns that seem tough to break. So what do you guys think about this affirmation, and what do you think about what Jim Carrey has been saying? I think there's a ton of good stuff that he's been saying, and I'm sure there's little points that we can take and learn from and add to our life to improve it. So let me know in the comments section, guys. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment. We'll see you on the next one.